It's time to get into the grease, baby. Time to get into the grease. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? It's time to get into the grease, baby. Time to get into the grease. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Throw your hands in the air like that. East side, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now, let's begin, shall we? Last night on the regular scheduled program, we showed and told you about all the events that surrounded Jermell. But hell, they both twins, right? What happens to one happens to the other. What's good, Mike? What it do, Mike? So, anyway, Jermell Charlo in this corner was shown to have 2 bottles in his corner. One bottle containing water that was issued to both sides, regular bottled water, and another Gatorade container where you can't see the contents of what's in it, but still 2 different bottles in the same corner. And people are telling me that that's legal. Okay. Now the California State Athletic Committee, after the people were looking at it and saying, hey, something looks fishy here, after the California State Athletic Committee takes a look at what was going on, they come to the realization that there's nothing to see here, folks. It was water in the bottle. That's what they telling you. Oh, it was water in the bottle. How you know? Thanks, Rich Moore. You ain't seen nothing yet, though. Patreon gonna really be cracking. It's gonna really crack in a minute. So I called the California State Athletic Committee today. I called them bright and early when they was first getting in office. And you know what they were saying? Everybody was, I think, well, you gotta talk to Trisha. You gotta talk to Arthur. Nobody knew nothing. Then I started telling them what was going on. And I said, well, Tony came and applied, he signed a petition. Y'all don't know what's going on over there? How y'all not gonna know? This is all everybody talking about. Well, we're gonna get back in contact with you. I'm gonna have Trisha call you. So I don't get a call from Trisha. I call Trisha back and get Trisha on the phone. Everybody's running, and the guy she wants me to talk to, who put out the statement, she's telling me, did you see the statement? We put out a statement. I'm Trisha, listen. I need to speak to whoever's in charge. Whoever put that statement out, that's the person I need to talk to. Because the person says, oh yeah, the bottle, yeah, they asked and we gave permission, and yeah, the one side permission, and you didn't give it to another side. Where they do that at? Hit the like button coming in. So how was you sure that the contents in the bottle was water? Did you see them put the water in there? And why didn't you extend courtesy to the other side of the room? And when do they allow 2 bottles there? And why would they start with water, switch to the Gatorade bottle, then switch back to the regular water? If that was the purpose. They said they wanted to switch to a bottle that they could just press the water in and do it. If they wanted to do that, why didn't they start with it? When did they give you the permission? These are the questions that need to be answered. There's 50,000 loopholes. You know what happened? The PBC wrote a letter over there and say, this is what you need to say. He ain't cleared of nothing. Andre Ward used that bottle. Did Andre Ward have 2 different bottles in his corner? Did you see Andre Ward with 2 different bottles in his corner? Or did he have that bottle for the entire fight? I think he had that bottle for the entire fight. He didn't have 2 different bottles in his corner. You see? This is, you guys are getting focused on the wrong things. You guys are looking for excuses and wiggle room to make excuses for Jermell Charlo's corner. They had 2 different bottles in there, and the excuse that they gave does not make any sense. If you said that you gave them permission because they wanted to use the Gatorade bottle, why the hell did they use the Gatorade bottle when they started the fight? They waited till like the 4th or 5th round to use it, and they only used it for like 4 rounds. Then they went back to using the regular water. So that looks suspicious. It looked like you mixed something in the other one, and then you diluted it with the water to cover it up and mask it. And I'm going to tell you something else. It's 4 degrees right now, and I'm hot. This car gonna be 1,000 degrees by the time I'm done. Cause I don't like when they play with people's intelligence. You don't play with mine. They just trying to appease the Jermell Charlo supporters. And quit showing us the VADA testing. The VADA testing is not, listen, I talked to a nutritionist today also. And the nutritionist told me that boosts are not going to show up on the test. You can take a boost in the middle of a fight and that won't even affect the testing. They said from the looks of the container, that's normally what you would put. You don't put a boost normally in a see-through container. He's like, what they probably did was mix the boost in with the water that they had in that container and it'll be clear. And they called it an APT. He's like, he probably took an ATP boost, and that will give you energy. And all it does is just re-energizes you. When you fight in a boxing fight, your heart rate accelerates, and if you don't know how to breathe, you fatigue. That's what leads to fatigue. Your heart muscles going really fast, and your conditioning, you're getting hit. It's just like running at top speed. You slow down, your body fatigues, and it has to adjust to the changes that is happening to it. What that boost does is open up the lungs, lets you get that energy back and boost your adrenaline so you can have more energy. You're getting more oxygen to your lung. When you breathe fast, you're not getting a lot of oxygen in. See, this is what these boosts do. And have you noticed that they didn't start until if you watch the fight and watch when this thing's happening, you saw Jermell Charlo getting worked out. His mouth was hanging wide open. And he was breathing heavy, in and out. And then he got a turbo boost. But yeah, but people die in the ring, sir. This is not a football game. Or a baseball game when they hitting the ball. They hitting each other. They punching each other in the face and head. So this other guy who's playing fair, he gets fatigued. This guy gets a second boost and knocks him out. What happened if Tony gets hurt from that? He suffered some brain damage from that. What happens then? See, it's not just about money. This is about somebody's life. This is about somebody's health. And y'all playing games for money with people's lives. We saw a lot of boxers die last year. Too many. One too many. And they playing with people's lives. Don't forget to hit the like button, man. This is really important information. Everybody should at least hit the like button on here. The California State Athletic Committee, they're going to have to talk to me and explain that statement. They thought that statement was verifying something? No. All it did was tell me in bed with PBC. That the commissions is in bed with PBC. That's all it told me. That they sent you a statement to say. Because that was the dumbest statement I ever heard in my life. Now, I know you guys are not going to come out and say, yeah, we were wrong. That's like asking the cops, do they target black people? Well, like, they going to come out and say, like, yeah, we target blacks. No, they're not going to do that. So expecting the committee to come out and say that they did something wrong under their watch, the excuse made no sense. If you gave them permission to use it when they asked, then that courtesy has to be given to the other side. They have to be notified that, hey, they're going to do this and this is what's going to happen. It's like when you wrap a fighter's hands and the fighter might say, the guy might tell the commission, my fighter got bruised, like his wrists and all that. Can I use extra tape just on his wrist? You know, to protect the fighter's wrist. And they'll say, yeah, nobody care. Yeah, go ahead. You can use extra tape on his wrist. We don't care. Because it's about the fighter. They're protecting the fighters. They're not trying to gain an advantage. They're just saying, look, I just want to protect my fighter's wrist. And the commissioner do that, but he has to inform the other person, and they have to agree to it. Tony didn't cry foul, he took the loss. But if something is suspicious like that, I mean, y'all act like that's just some sore loser stuff. That's not sore loser. That's serious. That ain't suspicious to you? Somebody drinking water out of a regular plastic, the what's standardly issued for 4 rounds, they start getting their butt whooped, then they switch to a Gatorade thing that nobody's seen before. And the trainer don't even give it to them. The second is the only one that controls that container. Not the trainer. The trainer is the one that gives them only the water. The Gatorade was administered by the second, his uncle. His uncle, Charlo, is the one that gave him that Gatorade thing and was squeezing. The trainer, Derek James, didn't want to have nothing to do with it. So it already looks suspicious and fishy. Then, all of a sudden, Derek James goes back to giving him water, and after like round 9 or 10, the whole thing stinks to high heaven. And you better believe, any boxer that fights Jermell Charlo, they're gonna definitely watch it. I know, because they don't get in the ring. They don't get hit. They don't get punched. This is a serious thing. See, another fighter see this and they know better. They like, look, man, hey, something's not right here. This whole thing stinks to high heaven. And they think I'm going to stop riding on them. They be like, man, you just doing that because you don't like Charlo, man. You just don't like them Charlos. I don't like them, and this happened. And it's just fitting that I don't like them. I don't like them. Now you see why I don't like them. They'll do anything for fame. The only thing that's about the Charlos that they got is that they're identical twins. They selling the fact that they twins, and that's it. We twins. We look alike. Y'all can lose alike too. See, people are trying to go, it could be Coca-Cola in there. It could be water in there. You're not supposed to have 2 different bottles in the corner. Period. There's no way, shape, or form you got 2 different bottles or containers in a boxing corner. So don't show me like, oh, well, they got a solid one for Andre Ward. If they use the solid one for Andre Ward, I'm quite sure they got authorities to use it. But I guarantee you, Andre Ward did not switch containers. He didn't have a regular plastic bottle of water, then switch and start using the Gatorade bottle. in the middle of a fight. Show me that, and then you would have a point. No, all those things in, like the guy said, he's a nutritionist. He knows. He said, man, that blood test and all it's going to show is nothing. He said that turns into natural energy. He said if you had a energy drink and it boosts your levels up to 1,000, but you wouldn't take that because it drains you. An energy drink drains you. So if you took an APT boost or whatever he calls that, he said if you took one of those, he said what those is like B12 and a lot of other things that like, it works like almost like how, what's that's called? Inhalers. How it opens your lungs up for oxygen and all that stuff. It like re-energizes you. That's what these things do, and they don't show up on tests. Because all you're doing is getting a boost back, and it's like getting you a second win. Go back and watch the fight. Once he started getting the bottle, he was still getting outworked. He was dead tired. His mouth was hanging wide open. He breathing heavy. Then all of a sudden, things changed, didn't it? Things changed in the fight and everywhere else. All of a sudden, he's had some zip in his step. So what, did he find a second win? Charlo's normally known for running out of gas. Now all of a sudden he comes storming back and get a late round knockout? They just got busted. It's no reach. What am I reaching at? Did he not have two different bottles in his corner? Is that a reach or is that facts? Do we not know that's facts? He had two different bottles in his corner. That's facts. Let's go over the facts. Jermell Charlo's corner had two different bottles. One that was administered to be there, the regular bottles, and then the bottle that they decided they wanted to use. And they said they got permission to use. So if you got permission to use it, why didn't you start the fight with that bottle? Because you can't get permission to use it in the middle of a fight. So the commission, when they quit running from me and start giving me BS answers, we gonna talk. So tomorrow they're gonna have to talk to me again. And they're gonna have to explain the statement that they put out to the public, which was BS. Because if they gave him exactly two different people, the trainer who's holding the water, Derek James, who ain't gonna ruin his name, he gonna hold the water. But this mysterious Gatorade bottle is held by your uncle in the second. Why? He needs you. He handles the ice. And now you gotta handle this Gatorade bottle? Derek James can't hold the Gatorade bottle? Why wouldn't he hold it if it's just water? Why isn't Derek James holding the Gatorade bottle? Look, y'all could be blind and stupid all you want. Y'all could be blind and stupid all you want. But if you think just because he passed the VADA test that this gonna clear him with me, hell to the no. They cheated. Don't forget to hit that like button. And ain't nothing the California State Athletic Committee can do unless they are prepared to answer these questions I get with solid answers that I will ever believe anything other than. Why do you keep saying 4 months later? The fight wasn't even, the fight was like last month. No matter, it can be brought up 2 years later. If they find an infraction, it's an infraction. That's somebody's life. I talked to the committee today. They were running around like doggone chickens with their heads cut off, trying to find out what was going on and how they were going to get out of it. And believe me, you would think that the California State Athletic Committee is this big, gigantic office, all these employees, they got levels and elevators. No, it's a little mom and pop shop dump in Sacramento, California that only has about 4 people working there, and they don't know a doggone wrist lock, or they don't know what's defense, they don't know anything about boxing. They have no clue. So believe me, I don't care if it was water. They can't tell you it's water. They just gonna say it's water. Well, what they gonna tell you? Well, it was a little, a little energy boost, a little Coca-Cola in there. It could have been Coca-Cola. It could be piss. We don't care what's in there. He's got 2 different bottles in the corner with 2 different people handling the bottles. Why wouldn't the trainer, Derek James, look at the statement, D? The statement, it says, we gave him approval. They gave him approval to use the Gatorade bottle. So if you gave them approval to use it, why didn't they use it when the fight started? They started off with the water bottle for the regular water for 4 rounds. Then they stop, and then the uncle brings in the green bottle of death. Brings in the Incredible Hulk in this perfect time. And it's right when Charlo is getting his brains beat in. His mouth is hanging down to the floor like a Tijuana whore. And next thing you know, he's up there breathing heavy. And they sit over there giving him the doggone water. Quote unquote water. And as soon as they give him the water, what happened? What happened? He started getting a second wind after a couple of rounds. He started getting some energy back. Started getting his second wind. I'm saying he just got his second win. We don't know what's in there. We don't know what's in that bottle. And I guarantee you, California State Athletic Committee don't know what's in there, but they're just going to say it's water. What else they going to say? Because it's on them. They going to say they did something wrong? No, they not. But they can't say that they gave them permission at the beginning of the fight to use it. And if that's the case, why didn't they use it? And then they only used it for 4 rounds, and only the uncle touched that bottle. Why wouldn't Derek James, the head trainer who's been administering the water, why he can't do the Gatorade? Why wouldn't he touch that bottle? Why wouldn't Derek James touch that bottle? He made sure he was not going to touch that green Gatorade bottle. You want to know why? Because Derek James want to say, I ain't give him nothing. I just gave him water. You saw that. In case this thing blows up, and that's what he was going to tell you. He ain't going to mess up his career. Y'all ain't going to do him in. That ain't no reach. It take 2 people to get somebody water. And from different containers, you supposed to have one bottle. He says APT or whatever it is boost. I talked to the nutritionist. He told me they could easily make an APT boost and take that in the middle of the fight with that green bottle. They could mix that in there, give them an APT boost, and that stuff will not show up on the VADA test. He's like, because you only give it to him for a couple of rounds. Give him a couple of squigs of it. That's all he needs to get through. It will show up as normal on the test. It won't, there's no testing for that that's going to really go off the charts. That's like natural adrenaline. It could be looked at as that. It's not gonna mean anything. It's gonna get diluted down with regular water. That's why they only gave it to him for like 4 rounds straight. Then they went straight to the water to dilute it all down. I'm telling you, something fishy went on. Yeah, it's fishy. I mean, anybody watching this knows it's fishy. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you what happened. Why would they do that? They got to explain. Why would you start with water? The trainer, Derek James, is giving you water. According to them, they gave you asked for permission to use the Gatorade bottle. They gave it to you. And all of a sudden, after 4 rounds, you decided to start off giving them the regular water from the container, from the little plastic container water bottle that they gave you. Why are you using that if you got permission to use the Gatorade bottle? Why didn't you start off with it? Because it's a lie. Then, after that, it goes to another level. The lies just keep pouring, don't you? Don't you see how the lies just keep pouring? It's like, we're going to keep pouring the cup. What other lie did they create? Oh, and then 5th round, here comes the green container. Derek James wouldn't touch it. Did not touch it at all. All of a sudden, the man who applies the ice is applying the Gatorade with the water and decides he wants to give him the water now. Back full of water that they asked to use. Why? What was the purpose? Those are facts. That's all you see on the video. So that's not reaching, that's not speculation, that's all factual. That is all what you see on that videotape. Now, someone in the California State Athletic Committee needs to inform me and everybody else out there and give us a reason for why that happened. These are not allegations. This is all the factual things that happened on that screen. You can see that right now on your YouTube. You can go get it and go look at it right now. I talked to the California State Athletic Committee and they gave me the runaround. I talked to Trisha. She didn't know anything. I've been talking to people's voicemails and they've been scared to call me back. I got Trisha on the line when I called up there and she didn't know. So if they didn't know, and then their press release come out, they're like, well, did you read the press release? They don't know what's on the press release. So if they didn't know what was on the press release themselves, of course he's been cleared. They wasn't gonna not clear him. Who you think run the California State Athletic Committee? This is not going to happen again. Now, they can't fool everybody else. Everybody knows it's a setup. They all know what it was. Even the judges had to fight lopsided and incorrect. It was corruption at every turn. And tomorrow, they're going to have to deal with me again. If Art don't call me back, I'm going to rise and shine him. As soon as he come in the door, he's going to have to answer to me. And I'm going to say, why you didn't call me back? Oh, I was out for the day. Oh, yeah, we're going to find out. Because y'all got some answering to do. Y'all got a lot of answering to do. Because well, him being a bum is beside the point. That's something else. That's about boxing, period. So we already know that. We can get past that part of it. But we'll get to all that later. That's just talking boxing. This isn't even about boxing. This is just about what's right and wrong and corrupt and somebody trying to get an edge. And they said, why would Charlo do something like that? Well, he lost the last fight. His back is on the wall because if he loses this, he's done. Yeah, I think he had a lot at stake. So I can to see somebody trying to give them an edge. He know he ain't built like that. What character? He ain't got no character. You gotta have character to be declamation of it. That's right. You can donate to the page, hit the Cash App up. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. Y'all know what time it is. We letting it rain. We letting it rain today. Yeah, Panama Lewis all over again, buddy. Yeah, hand me my bottle. Hand me the one I mixed. Derek James ain't touched that bottle. He like, I ain't touching the one that's mixed. It's just water, but I don't want to touch it. I'm going to stick to this water, and nobody going to be able to say, oh, Derek James did nothing. That's between you and your uncle. That's a family issue. Yeah, we know why you ain't do it. We know why you ain't do it. It's just water. He's scared to touch water? On the line tomorrow. Oh. 1 degree. 1 degree. 1 degrees. 1 degrees. 1. Well, you know, I gotta say the truth. We gonna tell it like it is. We ain't let nobody get away with cheating people. We ain't gonna let nobody get away with all this scapegoatness that they doing. We gonna tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. Asked them what was in the Kool-Aid. I'll be like, well, why would anyone take your word for it? I'm going to try to get the nutritionist on the phone so he can talk to y'all too. But I just wanted everybody to be clear. You know, I want everybody to know what was what. So now we all know what was what. I'm out. When is he calling in? I don't know. I should hire the nutritionist. I might. It's 1 degrees outside though. I ain't gonna do no Rocky 4 and start running around outside getting pneumonia. Anyway, I'm out. Don't forget to join my Patreon, Carcino for Life. If you want to see uncut, exclusive, well, everybody over there who's already there, they can tell you. we get to the real. So it's a lot of stuff y'all don't know about that's going to come out. That's right, Prince. So I ain't finna go running out here in this snow. It's 1 degrees outside. 1. 1 1 Nah, I ain't got that time for that. But you could also, if you don't want to do all that, you could donate to the Cash App. Hit your boy Carcino up. Show some support as we rally against all these people here. You know who this gonna benefit? Because now they ain't gonna be able to do it no more. Now everybody gonna be watching the corner. See, that's the good thing about it. That's what Tony wanted. He ain't doing this just for no reversal. He doing this for the next fighter that they was gonna do this to. He doing that to the other fighter they gonna do this to. Just like when Floyd did that with Manny. All of a sudden, Manny whole thing changed. Then he wasn't knocking nobody out no more. None. Wasn't no more Manny Pacquiao super knockouts. That man, he chilled out for a minute, didn't he? Got a little pot belly and everything, started running around. He wasn't no super cut up Manny no more. They had to chill that chill. Believe me, fights body, you gonna see the difference. Everybody gonna have their eyes in that corner, waiting to see that tap, and waiting to.